Hello. So today I want to tell you about the game TacTile, which is a tactical game for 2, 3, or 4 people. Some of you may remember that I actually showed this on my channel as a Kickstarter prototype. The Kickstarter is now overdone and fulfilled, and the game is available for purchase, and I love it. I prefer it at 2 players where it is just head to head, winner take all, you going against the other person, seeing who comes out victorious. When you play with 4 players, you're on a team, and there's also a version for 3 players. So let me tell you a little bit about this game. First of all, it's going to be different every time you play because the board has complete variable setup. All of your tiles are in this bag, and you just mix them on up. There are then the 4 corner tiles, and I'm going to set up a smaller board just so you can see it here, but normally this is a 6x6 board. So you are just going to randomly pull tiles out of the bag, and they make up your board. They do have icons on them, so if you struggle with seeing colors, you will be able to see these. And whatever colors you are playing as, if you're in a 2-player game, you will play opposite one another. So of course I am green, and in this game I would be going against the red opponent. And like I said, this is going to be a random setup every time you play, which is good because then you can't plan ahead too much. You have to kind of think on the fly. It's going to influence which cards you purchase to help you. 3 more tiles. So in a normal game, like I said, this would be a 6x6 grid and would be bigger, but so that my phone can see it, it is this size. So if I were green, my goal is to get both of my pieces from my green starting space to the opposite end, which would be red, and the red player would be doing the same. They have their 2 pieces that they want to get to the green base. Every player will get one of these cards that shows you your options each turn, and you get to perform 2 of these options, and they cannot be the same one because you will have these little cubes to mark. So like if I took the move action, I would move, and then if I took, let's say, the gain action, which lets me gain one of these colored tokens, and it corresponds to whatever colors my pieces are currently on. So I need to be thinking ahead about, okay, if I want to gain a red tile, I need to make sure to get one of my pieces to a red tile. What are we doing with these pieces? Great question. There will be a market of 6 cards available at all times, and each card, as you can see, has a different cost on it and has a different action. So let's say I had a red push and a red gain. So if I use move, I move my player, let's say from home to red. So that was my move action. But because I have purchased red cards on earlier turns, I also get to do a gain action for free, which allows me to gain where one of my tokens is. And I get to do a push action, which means I get to push my opponent 1 square. You can get these cards in all of the 4 colors. And in fact, you're going to want to. You're going to want to essentially build up this engine where you have lots of options for each color. So wherever you move, you then get a whole bunch of other movements and options and actions for free. And then you still get to take your second action per the card. So it becomes this built up engine. And that's where, because the board is going to look different every time, you're going to need different combinations of cards. Because I know as I get down here, I have a lot of green and red. So I may want to invest really heavily into those colors. And again, in a 6x6 game, there would be equal numbers of colors because I made a smaller board. Yellow looks underrepresented, but in a full built out board, that would not be the case. All things are equal. So it is such a fun game. It tingles your brain. You're having to think, and it's one of those games where you can feel like you're so far behind. But if you're building up a really strong engine, you can have a move that's just epic, and you can move so far ahead, and you can push your opponent so far out because some of these cards say move on them. So as you're moving, you may be now on a new color, which means more of your cards are activating. So it is just a really, really great head-to-head 2-player game. It does play 3 and 4 as well, but like I said, my favorite is 2. So I am loving TacTile. I would love to know, have you played it? What do you think of it? Give me a like and a follow, and I'll keep bringing you more board game content. Thanks. Bye.